In this session, we're going to talk about some nested functions within index and match. Here, we're going to use the sum function. Then we're going to use the min function. And then we're going to simplify this by just using the sum function. Here, we have the normal layout. We have, in this first example, we're going to use the sum. And we're going to look up sales for a particular company, or we're just going to look up some numbers. It doesn't matter what the details are. We're going to sum them up. We're going to use this index match function. We can also do the same thing with the min function. And then we're just going to do something that's not shown here, and that is sum. And that's going to be the first thing I incorporate. Look, if you don't have a huge data set, in other words, if this information isn't more than 40 rows. Look, if you're looking at just adding up a row, for goodness, just use the sum function. Why make it more complicated than it has to be? Same thing if you're adding columns, just use the sum function. There's no reason to use the index match function to do something that will solve the problem in a snap index. Look, the more you add to a formula, it's just prone to errors. So here we have a sum, and then we have index, and then we have match. When you do the same thing with sum. Anyway, back to the topic. What we have here are company names. They're just random. And what we're going to do is sum up whatever the data represents. Sum, what does sum do? It adds numbers together. And you're asking, well, okay, well, how if we use sum, can we use index match to sum up these numbers? And that's a good question, because match finds what does match do? It finds the row. Okay, so it finds the row. And that's what we're trying to do. If you just say get rid of sum and get rid of index and have sum, what would it say? Sum row. But because we have AT&T here, we have to find AT&T, and that would be row 3. What happens? Match is going to go row 3, and then sum's going to add up row 3. That's it. In terms of min, well, it's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to find AT&T, and it's going to find what? It's going to find the smallest number. We can parse this and make it more difficult than it is, but that's it. Don't make, as I say over and over and over again, don't make the thought process any more difficult than the obvious. So if you want to do this, you could just, you have the sum function here. You can go to the right and put min. And you're going to get the min number, the exact same thing, without using added functions. I'm going to encourage you to always read the write-up, Brad Williams, Excel Primed.